Welcome to Attention Central Texas. Thank you for watching us. I'm Robin Durham, and I have a special guest with me in the studio today. This is Sara Ramirez, and Sara is the Executive Director of Catholic Charities of Central Texas. Welcome to KPLE.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to meet you and have you in so that you can explain the services that Catholic Charities provides to our region. I want to ask you first, how many counties do you serve since you're Central Texas?
Sure. So at Catholic Charities, we cover a 25-county region.
Wow.
So we go as far north as West Texas, as far south as San Marcos, and then we go all the way out east to the other side of Bryan College Station, and as far west as Mason, Texas. So we cover a big territory.
Yes, you do. I've been to all of those places. It takes a while to get to Mason, that's for certain. Sara, I know that you serve in so many capacities, you have so many programs, but first of all, I think just get the mission statement or the vision statement of Catholic Charities out there for the people to hear.
Sure, absolutely. So our mission statement is a faith-based community whose job is to build up the dignity and respect of all of our citizens and community members. And we do that by educating, engaging, and empowering families to combat social stigmas and poverty that may play to financial, social, educational, or spiritual poverty.
That's powerful, to combat spiritual poverty.
Absolutely.
You know, that's just an amazing agenda. And I want to ask, do you have to be Catholic to receive these services?
I'm so glad you asked that.
Yeah.
So the answer is absolutely not. We provide services because of our collective faith calling of all the staff at Catholic Charities, but we ask a lot of questions of our families because we really want to understand what's going on in their lives so that we can best help them. But faith is one question we do not ask. So Buddhist, Baptist, Muslim, no religion at all, our doors are open to you.
Well, I knew you employed because our daughter worked in the past for Catholic Charities in New York State. So I knew you didn't have to be Catholic to be employed, but I wasn't, totally sure. And thank you for serving everyone and for all that you do in the region. I want to ask too, before we get into your programs, where does your funding come from?
Sure. So this year, Catholic Charities' budget is about $5.8 million, and we get about 30% from federal, state, and local funding.
Good.
About 30% is contributed by the Diocese of Austin. About 11% is client service fees. We have a couple of programs where the clients invest into their services. And then the rest is raised by individuals, foundations, and corporations, our global community coming together to serve our
That's good. So you keep
need.
some of the money is local, which is a good thing. You said 30% comes from your region, Catholic Diocese.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's good. I think it's always good for people in the community to invest in the community, to recognize, the need for it. So those that are giving to the Catholic Church locally, some of their money stays local, some of it goes global and helps other people. That's great. I want you to talk about your services, and you called it when we were visiting a one-shop stop. And so explain that, and then we'll talk about each individual service that you provide.
Sure. So jokingly, I like to say we like to consider ourselves the Walmart, right?
Okay.
In the social service industry.
Good.
Because we have so many programs, a lot of times when families first take the step to come and seek help, you have to remember they've already extinguished all of their personal resources, probably reached out to all of the support systems that they have. So even though they're walking in the door to us, in my mind, I visualize it as if they're on their knees. We are their last resort before they have nowhere else to go. So the nice thing is when families come in, there may be a little bit of hesitation, right, of sharing some of your deepest, darkest stories and secrets and things that have gone on in your life that you're not proud of. But because we were able to build that rapport in one program, maybe you're coming in and you're pregnant and you're getting parenting classes, but then come to find out maybe there's some marital problems and you and your spouse could benefit from counseling. Well, we have a counseling program as well. So once the families have built that relationship with us, they're more inclined to access our other services to really help raise their family up.
That's wonderful. And I just want to emphasize again, you mentioned counseling, so you have degreed counselors.
Yes, we do.
And again, they don't all have to be Catholic.
That's right.
And the one thing that you don't ask is, what is your faith?
That's right.
I think that's important for people to hear, because I think there's a misconception, with the name being Catholic,
Absolutely.
Charities, that you would have only Catholic counselors, and that they would be proselytizing into the Catholic Church. Well, I'm sure the love and the kindness that they receive and the help that they receive might entice them to attend a Catholic church, and that's, as it should be. But you are not pushing necessarily, you're just trying to help people.
That's right. And it's just an example I can give you. We have individuals from all over the world that we serve in our agency. And we have had individuals that came to us because someone referred them, and then they shared their story of they fell away from their mosque and they would like to find a mosque to attend. Well, we have relationships with imams in the community, and we can reach out to them so that they can get connected to their faith. Kind of my thought pattern behind all of this is, if we are to be his hands and feet here on earth, regardless of what our faith tradition is, we can demonstrate his love to others who maybe have never had exposure to that, just through our actions, which may plant that little mustard seed for them, right? To
Amen.
say, it's time to go back to church, whatever their church denomination is, or maybe I should learn a little bit more about this.
Amen, amen. So talk about some of the services. You've already mentioned counseling, and I think, is that one of the services that there is a fee required?
Sure, there is. So in our counseling service program, we have 8 counselors that are fully licensed, either licensed clinical practitioners or licensed marriage and family therapists or licensed social workers. The only thing that sets us apart from a private counselor is that we offer a sliding scale fee. So we serve the working poor. Our families are working, they are employed. It is just not enough to get by, especially when they're working minimum wage jobs. So in our counseling program, instead of paying an average fee of $168 for a 55-minute session, our families pay an average of $30 a session. And I will say, we turn nobody away due to their inability to pay for counseling services. That's really important to us, because by 2020, depression will be the second leading disease in the United States behind heart disease. And it's time for us to step up and no longer treat mental health services as if it's a luxury. Because anybody and everybody, regardless of your socioeconomic status, can use some counseling services, someone to talk to make themselves feel better, right? And work through the problems that they're having.
One of the services that you provide is so interesting. You provide immigration legal services, and share with the audience about that.
Yeah, so our 25 county service region is the 14th largest immigrant community in the United States. And so since 2000, we have had a beautiful relationship with our federal government, regardless of who is in the administration is, where we help families to get work authorization to become United States citizens. And we also work a lot with the DREAM Act, DACA. You hear a lot about that on the news today. And we actually have a 98% approval rating from the federal government in the amount of work that we do. Fully licensed attorneys that they could go out in their own private practice or work for a major law firm and pull in some big bucks, but they choose to give back to the community.
So you help them become legal citizens of the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. You are involved as well. You mentioned the someone coming in maybe expecting a baby. So what kind of services do you provide? You mentioned go on into if there's marriage problems.
Yeah, so we have a Gabriel Project Life Center program, and the goal of that program is very simple. It's to help give mom and dads the tools and resources they need to give their children a healthy start at life. So we may have someone that comes to us in a crisis pregnancy, not sure what to do. I will say the majority of our referrals are from other people who have come to our program and then find out that a friend is pregnant and refer them over to us. But we do prenatal classes, so before the baby is born, what to expect while you're expecting, right? We also, once the baby's born, we do child development stages. We want the families to understand and have the tools and resources that they need so that we can combat child abuse, neglect, and that's really important to us. One of the really neat things in our Gabriel project is a lot of services in the social service arena are geared towards women and children. Inadvertently, we are leaving fathers out of the picture, but then we're wondering what happened to our family unit,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
even if family units look a little different. So we started a fatherhood initiative out of our Gabriel Project program, and I am so happy to share. We had a goal this year to get 50 fathers to go through the program, and we are setting at 68 right now.
Wonderful. That's so key.
It's beautiful.
In the world we live in right now.
It is.
You have a program for veterans, which I believe that, our community here, our 50-mile radius has a lot of veterans. Share on that.
Absolutely. We have our St. Michael's Veteran Services, where we can help a family with case management, transition back to civilian. What's beautiful about our St. Michael's program, it can be a little deceiving because we call it Veteran Services, but we can serve veterans, active duty, and regardless of discharge status. So even if somebody was other than honorably discharged, we can still provide services.
Well, yes.
But we also can serve their dependents, so significant other and children, without the veteran themselves needing to be there. And we help with transition back into civilian. We help with counseling services, maybe marital counseling that may need to be going on, and even something simple as deployments, right? Deployment internationally or even across the United States when the family unit is separated.
Right.
That brings a whole nother set of dynamics to the table.
Amen.
And we can help the families with the tools and resources they need to accomplish.
That's amazing. You have, and we have like about a minute and a half left.
Sure.
You have disaster response and secondary response services, and you have financial assistance and education. You mentioned you would engage people, educate them, and empower them. Those are your 3 initiatives or 3 goals. And in the minute left, what else would you like to say about Catholic Charities?
Sure. My biggest thing is if somebody is in need or you know somebody in need, reach out to us. Call us at our main number and we will work to get them connected where they need to go, even if it's not through our services. We believe in a no wrong door approach to accessing whatever a family may need. So even if we don't provide it, we will stay with you until we get you connected to the right organization. And the biggest thing, the first step is always the hardest step, is making the call, right? And I would just encourage and pray for people. When in need, reach out. We are here to help.
That's wonderful. Well, I appreciate you being here today. It's good that we were able to talk about some of these things because the people in our communities need to know where they can go if they need help. And so thank you, Sara, for all that you do in your position with Catholic Charities. We appreciate everyone who serves people in our region. God bless you for watching Attention Central Texas.